Everyone thinks Naruto became strong because he was loud, stubborn, and endlessly hopeful. But the truth is, he survived because loneliness forced him to become someone unforgettable. By the end of this video, you will understand how isolation didn't just hurt Naruto. It quietly designed every part of who he became. Naruto didn't want power at first. He wanted to be seen, not admired, not feared, just acknowledged. He grew up surrounded by people who looked through him instead of at him. Smiles vanished when he entered a room. Conversations died when he sat nearby. That silence followed him everywhere. He didn't understand what he did wrong. No one explained it. No one comforted him. He was handed a life sentence of blame without knowing the crime. And when a child is punished without explanation, confusion turns into self-hate. That was the first wound. What Naruto missed wasn't guidance or discipline. It was warmth. A voice saying, "You belong here." Without that, he had to invent his own meaning, and so he decided attention was better than invisibility. If he couldn't be loved, he would at least be noticed. His desire was simple: be acknowledged, be remembered, leave a mark so deep no one could ignore him again. But the obstacle was cruel. Every attempt to connect pushed people further away. The louder he became, the more annoyed they looked. The pranks weren't jokes, they were screams. Each time he failed, he learned the wrong lesson. He thought he wasn't trying hard enough, so he tried louder, tried harder, tried bigger. And with every rejection, he smiled wider, hiding the hurt behind noise. Pain learned how to laugh. Naruto chose persistence over reflection. He didn't ask why people rejected him. He asked how to force them to look. That choice shaped his entire path. When attention became survival, subtlety died. He became a storm because whispers never saved him. The consequence was isolation disguised as confidence. People saw a reckless kid chasing dreams. They didn't see a child terrified of being erased. Strength became armor. Optimism became camouflage. Every grin covered a bruise you never saw. As he grew, his dream sharpened. Hokage wasn't about leadership. It was about proof. Proof that he mattered. Proof that the village couldn't deny him anymore. The title wasn't the goal. The acknowledgement was. And that difference matters. Every rival he chased was a mirror. Sasuke wasn't just competition. He was everything Naruto feared being. Loved, gifted, chosen. Naruto didn't want to defeat him. He wanted to be chosen too. That jealousy was grief in disguise. When bonds formed, Naruto clung to them fiercely, too fiercely. He treated connections like lifelines, because they were. Losing someone didn't just hurt. It reopened the original wound. Abandonment wasn't a fear, it was memory. So he made a promise: never give up on anyone, never let anyone fall into darkness alone. It sounded noble. It was also selfish. Saving others meant saving himself from reliving his childhood. If no one was alone, neither was he. This is where psychology whispers quietly. Naruto developed an external sense of worth. His value came from recognition, praise, and bonds. Without them, he felt empty. This isn't weakness. It's adaptation. A lonely child learns to survive through others. His constant optimism wasn't denial. It was regulation. When the world feels unsafe, the mind builds brightness to keep despair away. Naruto smiled, not because he was happy, but because stopping meant falling apart. Cheerfulness became emotional first aid. Control played a role too. Being powerless as a child left a scar. So Naruto chased strength relentlessly. Training wasn't ambition. It was insurance. Power meant no one could ignore him again. Power meant safety. Power meant choice. But attachment has a shadow. Naruto feared losing bonds more than losing himself. He bent, sacrificed, endured humiliation, all to keep people close. This is what happens when connection feels scarce. You grip harder, even when it hurts. His identity fused with his pain. The lonely kid became the never-give-up hero. Letting go of that struggle would mean facing the emptiness underneath, so he kept running. Forward, always forward. Motion became meaning. Naruto also learned to perform. Every shout, every grin, every bold declaration was a role he perfected over time. When you grow up ignored, You become hyper-aware of reactions. You scan faces. You adjust tone. You exaggerate parts of yourself that get a response. Slowly, the performance becomes automatic. You forget where it ends. This made Naruto strangely brave and deeply fragile at the same time. He could charge into danger without hesitation, yet crumble at the idea of being left behind. Risk felt familiar. Abandonment felt unbearable. So he chose danger again and again, because at least pain in battle had meaning. Notice how he reacts to praise. He soaks it in, but he never fully trusts it. Compliments slide off because they arrived too late. His nervous system learned the world was unpredictable. Safety could vanish overnight, so even happiness was held carefully, like it might break. When someone believed in him early, it changed everything. A single bond carried enormous weight. That's why betrayal cut so deeply. It wasn't just about trust, it was about survival. Losing faith felt like losing air. Naruto's stubborn hope wasn't naive. It was defiant. It said, "I will not become what hurt me. I will not turn cold. I will not disappear." Hope became resistance. Kindness became rebellion. In a world that taught him he didn't matter, he chose to matter loudly. That choice cost him rest. It cost him ease. Always proving yourself is exhausting. Naruto rarely allowed himself to be quiet, because quiet sounded like the past. Stillness felt dangerous, so he kept moving, kept talking, kept reaching, afraid that stopping would mean vanishing again. Even joy felt conditional, borrowed from moments he feared could be taken away anytime suddenly. Then the truth arrived slowly, painfully. Naruto realized something terrifying. He wasn't chasing acceptance. He was running from helplessness. From the boy who sat alone, watching lights turn off one by one. Strength didn't erase that boy. It carried him. Acknowledgement didn't heal him instantly. Even after earning respect, the ache lingered. Because childhood wounds don't vanish when applause starts. They soften. They quiet, but they remain. Naruto had to accept that being loved now didn't rewrite the past. The real turning point wasn't becoming powerful. It was understanding others' pain. When Naruto saw himself in enemies, something shifted. Loneliness wasn't unique. It was everywhere. And empathy became his true strength. Not because it saved others, but because it grounded him. He learned that bonds aren't proof of worth. They are shared space, chosen, not earned through suffering. That realization didn't erase his loneliness. It changed his relationship with it. Pain no longer drove him. It informed him. This story speaks to you quietly. If you've ever tried to be louder to be seen, kinder to be kept, stronger to feel safe, you understand Naruto. Sometimes effort isn't growth. Sometimes it's fear wearing ambition's clothes. You might chase success, attention, or approval, thinking it will fill the gap. But gaps formed in silence need gentler answers. You don't need to prove you deserve space. You already occupy it. That truth is hard to believe when you grew up unseen. Naruto's journey isn't about winning. It's about surviving long enough to learn why you fight. Loneliness shaped him. It sharpened him. It also hurt him deeply. And he carried that contradiction without collapsing. In the end, Naruto didn't escape his past. He learned to walk beside it. The lonely child never disappeared. He just stopped being alone. And maybe that's why this story stays with us. Because in the end, he was just human.